Hello everyone, it's Katona coming at you from House of Anteca. Happy Friday. I wanted to just do a short video on one of my favorite things, burning charcoal or using charcoal to for your sacred offerings, such as dry incense, essential oils, herb, and how to do it safely. So as you all know, I do offer charcoal, both the regular and the coconut versions in my shop, as well as Etsy, and various forms or items to burn them on safely, as well as things to burn as well. So I just want to do a demo. Here's my burner that I use quite often. You see it's full of ashes. I burn every day. And what you can do with your loose ashes, you can throw them away if you wish. You can bury them, because they're really like remnants of, releasing and energy that you've kind of dealt with while you were burning, or for the purposes of whatever you were burning at the time. So you can bury them. Like I said, you can, it's your choice. You can throw it away. I do take my ashes and put them in my plants. So I kind of just sprinkle them over the plants, and they seem to enjoy that. You can mix them in the soil, because the charcoal itself has some form of nutrients still with it. So what I'll do right now is just dump this out in a bowl and save it, and I'm gonna go take that outside. Another thing to do is, if you use salt for protection, is to mix it with your salt, especially black salt. You can sprinkle that around your doorsteps, around your yard, in whatever way that you see fit, as a protection measure as well. So that's what you can do with your ashes. Now you see it's mostly empty. It's still kind of dirty, but that's okay. And I use all kinds of things to burn, but this is one of my favorite things to use that I actually got off eBay, and it is a vintage Chinese iron. So you just use this to burn on the top. And I do want to mention that anything you burn in should be heat safe, preferably something that's metal, brass, most coppers, heavy metals. As they are conducting, everything will get hot unless it's covered with some type of wooden handle or something that is not of metal. You want to make sure that you sit it on something that is also heat safe. So usually all the things I sell come with these little wooden coasters, or always set it on something wood to keep it safe as well. That's just a safety measure. I have burned things before, like if I were to just set it on this here, this would likely burn this fabric here. So just be mindful of that. Now, as far as your the charcoal that we're using, when you use your charcoal, coconut charcoal has a different way of lighting, so we're just talking about the traditional charcoal. And when you put it in your dish, you want to make sure that it has the donut side or the indented side up. So just think of it like a little pot you're about to fill, and set it in your dish. I also have tongs available. I didn't bring them out right now, but you can use tongs to actually hold the disc, and light it while it's in the tong, and then set it in your dish afterwards. As far as what to use, I try not to use regular matches. You will probably end up burning your fingers. These are quick lighting charcoals. So it means that once you get a good spark on it, it should light all the way through. But with a regular match, you'll probably need a couple of them, and it may be difficult. So here's a torch that uses butane. The lighters, something that's going to stay lit for a good amount of time, and if that one wants to work for me. And I do have, for emergencies, long burn matches, and so these are matches that will stay lit for a long period of time. They're supposed to be windproof, for emergencies. So these do work if you need to use matches, but regular matches are not that fun with this. So you get this baby cooking. And it starts to hiss, you see? You can hear it. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. You know, not directly above this. It does have a charcoal smell, like if you're grilling. So you don't want to be like right in the. So it's lit. So I just wait a little while after that. You see, like it's kind of red. I blow on it after, and you, just like with air blowing over a hot charcoal, it'll have that red flame, and you know that it's pretty hot. So I'll let that rest for a second. And as far as how long this will stay lit, it's probably about a good hour that I can go back and continue to drop things on it. Even after I've burned whatever I wanted to offer. If you wanted to use this to burn an incense cone, it will burn that perfectly, and it's actually pretty nice not to have to light it. You just set the incense cone on top of it, and it just, you know, burns away. So as far as what you can burn, anything you want. So I have here on my dish just some dry herb. I have some dry roses, some lavender, some sage. So if you have sage bundles and then you get to the end and you're like, what do I do with this? You know, with these little loose leaves, or things fall off and they're not no longer part of the bundle anymore, just save them, because you can still burn them. It's still sacred, you know, plant medicine, and it can be all used for good. And then here is just some dry sandalwood, some natural sandalwood. So if you wanted to take this in a mortar and pestle, and I do mix incense as well. You'll see that later on in the shop when I have time to get around to that. But you can grind this up and make your own incense blend, and then drop it on your disc, and that's your incense. Or you can drop it on separately. So I'll show you just dropping on this one tiny sage leaf. And that's from one sage leaf. You can walk around with this, bless your area, clear your space, yourself. Some roses and some lavender. Yummy. Some sandalwood, dry sandalwood. I always feel like I'm cooking, like, here's some essential oil. If you want to use essential oils on here, I would recommend to lengthen the use of your essential oils, that you use a carrier oil like jojoba or coconut oil, almond oil. Jojoba just tends not to distort the smell of your essential oils, and almond oil as well. But so either one, or any other type of carrier oil that you choose. And this is just pure essential oil, but I just wanted you to see. So just dropping that on there, you get the essence of that essential oil from burning on the charcoal. And one thing that I forgot to bring over here, but I'll just mention, are the resins, which are, copal. I do carry copal, different types of copal, Palo Santo resin, frankincense and myrrh, benzoin, Sumatra, and several other types of resins, which are just saps, from a tree, like usually from a tree that's been injured in some type of way, but they're sacred as well. So I carry those, and I will be introducing the resin bar soon, where you can come in and weigh your resins and have fun with that, and getting to interact with your own products, or order it that way as well, and I interact with it on your behalf. It's all sacred, offerings that we can offer up to Spirit for many different reasons. So the resins are an option as well, and that's really what I wanted to make this video about, was to show you the resins and show you how to burn safely. But the resin would be the same thing. You would just take a little drop, pretend that this is just a small piece of the resin, and you would drop it onto the charcoal, and it would burn the same way. There are no differences with the resin. So this is how you safely burn your charcoal disc with different types of correspondences. And in the background, I just have some samples of what I do carry. These are not all of them, but I carry quite a few of different options to burn your charcoal disc in. Here's a goddess with the top comes off the top. And so something like this, it will get extremely hot. You don't want to touch it in the midst of it burning. You want to be extremely safe. You want to set it somewhere that kids and animals can't reach it. Make sure that it's on something that's heat proof underneath. And same thing with all of this. You don't want to reach for it while it's burning, unless it has a handle on it, like this. This is not hot, as the metal does not conduct heat there. This would be hot as well. And this is a censer, like they use in many churches. And you would place your charcoal disc here, put on your top. And for this chain won't get extremely hot as long as it's not resting directly underneath the dish. But then you can walk around, and I have it kind of tangled up right now. You could walk around your place, your sacred area, and bless your area, and it will smoke out of the little holes on the top. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments, if this was helpful. I hope it was helpful. I always love to do demos when people come in the shop. This is how I do charcoal, and I love it, and I highly recommend that if you need to add some fire in your life, this is an excellent way. And if you're already fiery, this is an excellent way to keep up with that fire. So as always, it's a pleasure. Be the light and be contagious.